Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Whoa! This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jackknife Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Jackknife. That is a new one.
Jackknife Joel. All right. So it is getting crazy out there in the horror world. We have so many new movies coming out, and so one of them is I guess a sequel to what we're going to talk about today.
It's like a reboot sequel, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how they're classifying that one.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're going to talk about Jeepers Creepers.
Yes.
From 2001.
Yes.
Love this movie.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. All right, Joel, who is in it?
All right. So this one stars Justin Long. He's been in a lot of stuff, so I'm doing like his more horror movies. He was in Tusk.
Oh yeah.
Start off with the horrors of Tusk, you know. Drag Me to Hell. I love that one. That's a good one too.
Oh yeah.
House of Darkness, which I don't really know too much about that one.
Oh, that comes out next week.
Oh, does it?
It's with Kate Bosworth as well.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen any trailers for that one. Nice. And the one that is also coming out, Barbarian.
Yes.
So, and we got Gina Phillips. She was in 10 episodes of Ally McBeal.
Oh.
Not too many horror movies on her resume here. But also, Dead and Breakfast, I guess, is good.
Oh.
Don't know much about that one, but I'm sure it sounds like a horror comedy.
Okay.
And we got Doom Annihilation, the Netflix animated movie, which I heard was really bad.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yeah. And then we got Jonathan Brett. He is the Creeper.
Oh, yeah.
He's in Jeepers Creepers 2 and 3. He was in that George W. Bush movie W.
Oh.
I don't know how big a part he had in that one, but
okay.
And then he was in Spy Kids 4, All the Time in the World.
I was just looking. It looks like he is not playing the Creeper in the Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
All right. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Different guy.
Yeah.
Younger guy. Jeru Benjamin is playing the Creeper.
They did a younger guy so they could make like multiple movies with this guy. So
yeah,
if this one does well,
because Jonathan Breck is so old. He's like,
it depends on how.
He's 57. So
between the first movie and this movie, which has only been 2 sequels of, it's been like over 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a long time for like 4 movies.
And he's a pretty active character, so
he is.
Yeah.
He definitely is. He's flying everywhere and like yeah. All right, so I do have to. People are not. Yeah, they have their opinions of the creator of this movie.
Yes,
Victor Salva. He is not a good person. So a lot of people, once they find out what happened, he's a convicted child molester, confessed to 5 felony counts of sexual relations with a 12-year-old boy in 1988. And he only spent 1 year in a state prison for that. So when people find out about this guy, they basically boycott the movies that he's done, which is understandable. Yeah. But it's like, at least I can separate the art from the artist. Like, I know that it takes way more than just one person to make a movie.
Yeah.
and with like the people that we have in this movie, I've heard people were like, well, Justin Long shouldn't have, been a part of it if he knew. It's like, well, Justin Long was barely in the movie industry at this point.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a career for him. He can't afford to just, say no to a certain movie if he's brand new in the industry. So, there are a lot more to it than just the director and writer of the movies. So, with that being said, this was written by Victor Salva. He wrote Clown House, Powder, and Rosewood Lane. And this was also directed by Victor Salva. So he definitely has a presence in this movie. But
yeah.
All right, that's my spiel for
Okay.
my little notice of who we're dealing with here.
All right, so for the plot, we got a brother and sister driving home through isolated countryside for spring break. They encounter a flesh-eating creature, which is in the midst of his ritualistic eating spree. So this movie is really cool for, multiple reasons, but something that I always will remember this movie for is the beginning, the first 15, 20 minutes.
It's a road trip movie for a good portion of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is what I like about this. It's, you don't get too many road trip horror movies anymore. And the ones that they do have are good. I like Joyride is a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first 15 minutes is probably maybe my favorite part. My favorite 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Which
isn't saying it doesn't sound great when you say it like that because it's an hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
But it is still a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if that's the best part of it.
Right. I just remember when I first watched it, not really knowing it was like a monster movie. Not really knowing much about it. I mean, it was 2001, so I was like a freshman in high school. And just, the road trip and then this dude behind them in this crazy looking truck. You can't see in it. You can't see who's driving it. And he's just, running up on them, runs them off the road. And then later on they are passing through and they see his truck and he's dumping what looks like a body down this tunnel, this big pipe. Yeah. And his trench coat and his hat and he just looks so awesome, so badass. And so it's that mystery and the kind of road trip horror. I like that kind of stuff. So that all those parts at the beginning of the movie really set the stage for a really cool horror film. Yeah. So I was hooked. I remember watching the first 15 minutes or so thinking, okay, this is a cool movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I don't think I saw this movie in theaters. I don't remember exactly when I saw it, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't if it was in theaters, it was shortly after, maybe the year after or so. Yeah. And I didn't really know anything about it either, even then, which sounds crazy from today's standards. Yeah. You think that a year after a movie's out, everything's been spoiled for you, and these days, but it wasn't like that back then. So yeah, with that, I didn't know anything about the movie really either. The trailers didn't really give, as far as I can remember, they didn't really give too much away about the movie. Yeah. And so I'm with you on that one for sure.
Yeah, and even when you kind of, I mean, I know for me when once they go down in the pipe and they're in the underground area where he's got all the bodies all up on the walls and the ceiling, and you see his lair. I was a little turned off at that point because I'm thinking, okay, now this is it's a little more ridiculous. I was thinking that this was an actual person. And then you see
Definitely not
this
a
and it's
person.
like, okay, this is something else going on here.
Yeah.
And so I was turned off a little bit, but like the acting, the
Mm,
characters, the brother sister relationship, the
yeah.
mystery of what this thing is, all of that really keeps you invested.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for the most part, the creeper looks really cool. Even when you
Yeah.
see him up close, he he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
got this like Hulk Hogan look to him, like his hair,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's just like all gray and it's like the back of his head and like the sides, like he has no hair on top. So, and it's
We could
super
have got him
long.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. The only thing I will say is I don't like the wings. That's the only part that I'm like, I like that he can fly. It's maybe just the design, the way the wings look, especially when you
Okay.
first see it, when it like pops out of his like
Yeah.
shirt or his jacket or whatever, and it's just like huge. And I don't know if it's like the
Mhm.
CGI or what it is that just I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't really care for that part.
I was gonna say, like, you didn't. If you don't like the fact that he flies, like, how is he supposed to? Because he goes away for 23 years and comes
Yeah,
back for 23 days. So
yeah,
how's he supposed to leave if he doesn't like have
yeah,
somewhere to fly to?
yeah,
And where is this like mystical place that he goes to where he just nobody sees him for 23 years? Like,
yeah.
I
I don't know.
want
He
to
like
know.
hibernates
Yeah,
or something.
he's got his own little cave.
Well, I think in Jeepers Creepers 2, they show, well, someone captures him and like has him in their barn, and he's like kind of like, I don't know. It's like he's hibernating, like he's like
Hmm.
sleeping.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think I barely remember that part
yeah.
from it. I was like, yeah, that whole movie was basically just him picking off teenagers from like
Yeah.
a on a school bus. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the end of that movie they actually catch him and he
Yeah. Yeah, and he's in a
on like
barn.
the last day of his 23 days.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, and then the old man like who's in the movie, he's just like sitting there staring at him
Hmm.
waiting for him to come back.
Yeah,
So,
he's been waiting for a long time.
yeah. um yeah, and some of the music is cool too. Like it has some
Hmm.
classic like monster movie type of score to it. Which
Yeah.
I thought was really cool, a good little effect to throw in there cuz this at the end of the day is a monster movie.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Monster slasher, I guess you could say.
monster
Um,
slasher road trip.
yeah, it's got a lot. It's got a lot going
Yeah.
on. Um, so what do you think of like the like Jeepers Creepers like song that is in it?
It's a little on the nose
Yeah.
for me. Like I mean, it's called Jeepers Creepers. Of course, the song's going to be in it,
Yeah.
and it. Um, when they talk about like the pieces that he takes from people,
Yeah.
and like he could have taken anything from these people, but the thing that he ends up taking at the end of the eyes, which
Yeah.
again is on the nose, it's in the song. Like
Yeah.
it's I
Where'd you
don't know.
get
It's
those eyes,
yeah.
Joel?
Even though he's also taken like hearts and lungs and
Yeah.
stuff, but in this case he takes eyes, and it's like okay, well
Yeah.
that song could have told you what was gonna happen. But I do like that they had different versions of that song.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
had the classic version. They had the original version of it a couple of times in it, including the end scene, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then there was like a more pop version. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? I don't know if they made that like for the movie because I've never heard that version before.
Yeah, me either.
But yeah, the song it's fun, but
Yeah.
it's a little cheesy.
Do you think
um
the song will be in the new one?
it It probably will be.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
wouldn't.
bring it back, right?
You have to. Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah. They didn't have it in the second. I don't think they had it in the third.
Yeah.
So they have to bring it back.
Yeah, you gotta bring it
in the
back.
reboot.
Yeah, it's just
So,
fun.
yeah, exactly. I mean, with a movie like this, like monster movies are kind of supposed to be cheesy fun. Like
Yeah.
they're not supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
So I hope that they really don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
The reboot.
Same.
And just have fun with it. Like,
Right.
and adding that song to it. Maybe have another version of it that we haven't heard yet.
Yeah, have like a metal version or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
So there's, some kills here, some violence, of course, which is pretty cool, especially, when you got a monster doing it. And what I like is he's a monster, but he's like a person at the same time, He has some super abilities because he can like jump super high and he's really strong and he can fly. And is this the one where he's on the back of the car or on the top of a car in the background?
The cop car?
Yeah.
That's when they're listening to the pop version
yeah,
of the song.
that's
on the
right.
radio,
yeah,
and they're listening
dude.
to it, and he's freaking out because it's playing in the background.
I love that
you just
part.
see the creeper like on top of the cop car.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
That is so awesome. I love that part.
And then the creeper he chops off the cop's head and then ends up like making out with the head.
Yeah. I thought he was like maybe trying to take the tongue or something. Like maybe he needed the tongue. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he takes it though. I think
Yeah.
he's just,
I don't know. Doesn't he like
just
kick the
having fun
head
with it.
too or something?
Does he? I don't remember.
Or he just throws it or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think actually, I think he ends up throwing it or kicks it or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that part is. See, that's where it's like, okay, this movie's just fun. It's just entertaining, not meant to be taken too seriously. And then you got Justin Long in there too. I mean, he does a lot of comedy films.
Yeah,
and,
he does. He wasn't very funny in this one though. He did a good job.
No, he's just a good actor. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, he is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got the charisma. And I just saw Barbarian, and his character in that is good. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I'll just say that. We'll probably review that one eventually, but yeah. Go check it out.
This will definitely be available when this comes out.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the ending, because I know you are very moved by this ending.
Oh, I was. From the I've seen this movie several times.
Yeah.
And the ending, there's just something about it that after these times watching it still kind of gets me.
Yeah.
There's something just very ominous and just, I don't know, it from the so the lady that's telling him what happens, and someone's gonna be hearing Jeepers Creepers over the phonograph and gonna be screaming, and then that plays out like I don't know, there's just something when you know who gets taken, and they are taken to the cave or wherever he's located at. I still don't really know where this place is.
Yeah.
And you just like you hear him screaming in the background in the distance.
Yeah.
And then you hear the song playing, and then you just like see his like hollowed out face. There's something still about that's a little disturbing, and it's just like very ominous, and I loved it. That was a perfect way to end that movie. Yeah,
especially with the song playing. It's kind of creepy, and then he like puts his face up, and it's like his eyes, like he has his eyes.
Yeah.
That's how it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you get those eyes? Yeah, no, it was really like a perfect way. I'm glad they didn't really tell too much about who this creature was,
Yeah.
and where it came from. And I kind of hope that because I heard that this was a first of like a new trilogy,
Yeah, this new
the
one.
reboot,
Yeah.
the new one. So if this does well and they continue on with their actual trilogy, I hope that we do get more of a background.
Yeah.
Eventually, not this first movie. I want that first one to just basically be kind of like this one,
Mm-hmm.
in that we don't know too much about the creature, and but as it goes on, we do find out more about it, and
Right.
and
Have some
everything.
sort
So,
of like lore
yeah,
involved, and
yeah,
I could see that.
exactly. So, yeah, so I'm really hoping that it does well, that they can continue to make more of these,
Yeah.
if it's good. So, because
So
that
what are you
was
thinking about this new one? Like, do you have any expectations? Are you thinking it's going to be good? There's a very limited run in theaters. It's only 3 days, and it's
yeah,
only in certain theaters. So,
it's
what are you thinking?
yeah. The trailer looks decent.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really, I don't know, they didn't really give too much away in the trailer that we saw. I'm
Yeah.
hoping we get one more trailer just to get more of an idea of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, honestly, it couldn't be worse than the third movie.
Yeah.
So that was a straight to sci-fi
Right.
release. Like that's a huge red flag right there for
Yeah.
for a movie, especially like a sequel to this movie. Like that's a huge step down.
And
And
the design of the creeper, there's been some good pictures. It looks
mhm,
pretty cool.
yeah,
The design looks cool. It looks more like a straight up slasher,
hmm
to me from the trailer, which I'm always okay with that. I think it's gonna depend on
the
the
CGI for me.
kills. Yeah, the kills, the CGI, and the acting.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried about the acting.
yeah, I kind of am too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just yeah. I mean, we could, I'm hoping that we're wrong in that department and that it's actually really good.
Yeah.
People were hating on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that went to Netflix, and we thought that
True.
was a good movie.
True.
People were saying that it was woke, which wasn't one
Yeah.
bit.
No.
Which I hope that they don't go that route with this one. I don't know how they could, just because it's harder to do that kind of thing with a monster movie
Right.
than it is with just like a regular killer. But yeah, so I am kind of skeptical, but also excited to see a new Jeepers Creepers movie, because it's still, even though we did get that third one, it's still been a few years since we had a Jeepers Creepers movie. So, and I enjoyed the second one.
Me too.
I mean, it wasn't as good as the first, but all three of them had a completely different tone, which was kind of weird to me.
Right.
Especially since it was written and directed by the same exact person all three times. So I'm wondering what the tone for this one's going to be. And I'm hoping that it's the
looks
same
dark.
kind of tone as the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty dark. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I hope it's, still fun, but has
Yeah.
its, serious times and some suspense, but it doesn't lose that like charm that
Yeah.
the first one had, where it's still entertaining and fun. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see it in theaters, which kind of sucks. But yeah, my local theater, I'm usually the only person in my theater when I go to the movies, so
Yeah.
it's a small one. So I doubt that. I don't think that we have that one showing.
yeah,
But yeah, so definitely catch it when it comes on a streaming service of some kind. I'm not sure which streaming service it's going to go to, or on demand. I guess it could do that too.
it'll probably be on demand to rent or whatever, or buy.
Yeah. I'll end up doing that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
All right,
So.
cool. Well, I will be seeing in theaters.
Rub it in. You live
I live in a bigger city.
Big city. Yeah.
So
I did too
will,
at one point, but
I'll let you know all about it. So it'll spoil it for you. And
oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll have
All
to
right.
watch it then.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's end this episode here. Look out for our episode on Jeepers Creepers Reborn whenever that does come out. And yeah, so that's it. This has been our episode on Jeepers Creepers.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the creeper bite.